Hey, Old Rock here. Morning SG forum guys and gals. Today I thought I would just do something a little different, and I thought I'd do a quick recording on my camera video recorder of a practice session. Now, normally I do about a 30-minute practice session. Obviously, I'm not going to do that today, but I just thought I'd do 5 or 6 minutes worth just to give you an idea of what I do. I really hoped to do it on my Gibson SG, but when I cranked it up through my orange amp that I normally play, you couldn't hear it on the camera. It just sounded like static. So even at 7 watts, it's too loud to record in this little tiny practice room that we have here at our house in the country. So rather than give up, though, I'm always figuring out another way to do things. So I thought, well, I'll just do it on an acoustic. So I will play, to give you an idea of what I do in a practice session. I'm a rhythm guitarist and singer. So when I practice, I like to use this little street cube. And that way I have a mic and I can do my singing while I play, just because it's what I enjoy doing. And I do a mix of originals and covers of old classic rock stuff. This one happens to be an original that I wrote with my boys years ago called Dark Grace. I saw her standing there, she was on the street corner, looking for something that I never knew quite what she was looking intently, knew that she wants it back. I tried to bring her back, but I almost fell to her secret addiction. It has a dark embrace, goes down sweet as honey, leads to destruction. So that'll at least start to get my old fingers moving. They don't move near as good as they used to when I was younger. But you know what? You just kind of keep playing and keep doing your best. And hey, I'm here. I only have one person watching, and that's my good old trusty dog, Duke, back there. He does love music. So let's see, what else would I do in a practice session? Well, every practice session you got to play some blues. And I love blues. Not a lead player, but I'll throw in that lead just for. Alright, so now obviously a real lead player would throw in a nice sounding lead, but hey, I still have fun doing it. What else do I play? I always like Beatles, so I'm always going to throw some Beatles stuff in. Always put in a little bit of that stuff, and I've got a dozen of those songs I like to play and sing. Day Tripper or Back in the USSR or whatever. Let It Be is a good one. But I don't just do old stuff. I'm an old rock fan, but I like newer stuff too. Not so much the new stuff, but like grunge rock I really enjoy. So, stuff like a Drive. So I do some of that stuff too. Who plays that? Is that Incubus? I think it is. And I'll tell you one I really like. If you haven't heard of Alice in Chains, they were one of the better grunge rock bands. They did a song called Rooster that I really connect with because it shows just how crappy our country is when it comes to treating veterans. So it goes something like this. rooster. There you come the rooster. So I always play some of that stuff. But I don't ignore the old stuff. Now, obviously, on an acoustic, it's kind of crappy. But on my SG, I love playing the old Cream stuff, and it's chucking on an SG through an orange amp. I don't think there's anything better. It's the perfect match for old Cream stuff. Now, on an acoustic, it sounds well. Yeah, now through a SG, when you do that chucking. SG, that would sound great. Through this, chucking sounds stupid. So I won't do that today. But I like doing stuff like that, and I play some old Led Zeppelin, the old. But obviously it doesn't sound good on an acoustic, so we won't do that. But I play some of the other old standbys, and on an acoustic, some of this stuff might sound. It's all the same, only the names have changed. We could do that stuff. I guess we're probably at 5 minutes already, so I won't keep going, but that's kind of an idea of a practice session I do.